Dios, ¿qué debería hacer?
Do we continue? With which of these two do we continue? You know what? Let's swap every time. Officer Minjun's home was very clean. On top of that, the Superior Investigation Agency and Unit 3 had been combing through this place for quite a few days, so it was very clean too. There were no other visitors anymore. Police tape was stretched across the door. The calendar in the living room was still on Wednesday's page. It was the day of his murder. It had already been 3 days since then. I remembered that Minjun once mentioned that he didn't like those calendars that had Sunday as the first day of the week. I agree. He said he had always preferred Monday as the start of the week. To him it represented a new beginning for our work. It makes so much more sense. Although as police officers we never really did enjoy and relax on the weekends. The bowls and dishes in the cabinets were all spotless and meticulously stacked. There weren't many clothes in the closets. I remembered every single one. A whole bunch of old DVD discs were stacked on the TV stand. All of them were military documentaries about wars and weapons. I walked around the whole apartment several times, but I couldn't find anything relevant to his personal connections. I lay down on the couch and stared at the ceiling that wasn't too high up, feeling like I had run into a dead end. According to Jagal Wandiom, Lieutenant Kang was definitely innocent, because they were drinking together at the time of Minjun's death. However, drinking with a gangster was not going to be a very convincing alibi for him. Besides, it might cause other unnecessary problems. At this point, the only way to prove Lieutenant Kang's innocence was to find the real murderer. I'd also gotten some information about Officer Minjun himself from Jagal. Officer Minjun used to have a criminal record because he had been involved in a murder. For some reason the case had been dropped and there probably weren't any records of it either. At the very least there had been nothing about this in the electronic records in the police station's archives. Of course, not many people knew about this at all. Moreover, Officer Minjun was not just a casual military and weapon aficionado. He had privately purchased lots of regulated and even banned weapons through multiple shady channels. His arsenal could probably arm a small team of special ops soldiers. However, Jagal had said that he wasn't sure if his special hobby was relevant to his death. The information that did have a direct connection to the case was in regards to surveillance tapes. All of the surveillance videos from near the apartment building on the day of the murder were gone. Therefore, it was very likely that Officer Minjun had been killed in his own home. Unfortunately, there hadn't been any witnesses who might have seen if he had any visitors that day. Overall, although I had gathered a lot of potentially valuable information, I still had no clue as to the true identity of the killer. And I was getting sleepier the more I thought about it. Just as I was falling asleep, I felt something on my butt. I put my hand into the back pocket of my pants and took out Officer Minjun's keys. There was a keychain fob that was in the shape of a telephone. I remembered the fob really well. There were not many keys on the chain, but the fob, however, seemed way too big and inconvenient. I remembered that I had once been pouring some water for Officer Minjun while he was reading a new edition of a firearms encyclopedia. I was peeking at the book over his shoulder when I accidentally spilled the water all over his desk. Officer Minjun immediately pulled out some napkins and started wiping his keys and the fob while cursing at me. He did not wipe the book first. Could it be? I went into the kitchen, found some flour and sprinkled it on the fob. I shook it and then blew on it. It worked. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. These were probably the most frequently used digits. Well, that's almost all of them. I tried pushing them. The buttons on the fob could indeed be pressed. It looked like this could be a passcode to something. However, I didn't know what the passcode was for or what the passcode would be. Speaking of code, I could vaguely recall that Officer Minjun had once told me about a series of mystic numbers, which might just have something to do with this. But I remembered that those mystic numbers had only 6 digits, but there were 7 potential digits here. Could it be that the passcode was changed often? I seem to recall that there were some relevant formulas. Oh god. Officer Minjun had written those down for me while trying to explain how mystical the numbers were. Okay, regardless, I should give it a try. Let me think. The code was probably 1, 2, 8, 5, 7, 4. Nothing happened. No, I couldn't just try a random combination. There were too many possibilities. 6 digits, 6 digits. Why would there be one too many being pressed on the fob? I was certain that Officer Minjun had written the numbers down on the corner of the piece of paper that I had written my report on. Maybe I had written something else on it later? It was so long ago, I must have thrown it away. This was so frustrating. What on earth was the passcode? Chang Yong-min. Oh god. I could start it, but I don't think there's any real point. It seems pretty obvious to me that the reason why there's 7 digits is because one number has 2 digits. But it seems to me that I will have to... Oh god. There's been so many stories. How long ago was it? Here I Come, Case Kidnapping, Soap Opera, the cargo shorts and the beach shirt. Where would it be? Let me look through these. Oops, that's not what I want. Okay, not here. Okay. Kangvik, ja. Anything regarding Minjun? Doesn't look like it. This has nothing to do with Minjun, then that's just the case on the top of the building. Yeah, okay, nothing to do with that. Soap opera. Discipline report. That might be it. But Officer Minjun left the office a while ago. Who is that? Oh yeah, the guy from Unit 3. It's nothing really important right now. Exactly. Okay, we had a lot here. It's unlikely that... No, that was just about the bathhouse. Okay, I don't think this had anything to do with it. What about this? Okay. Not very relevant. Nope, not relevant at all. This can't be relevant, and probably neither can this. No, not relevant. What was this? That might be... Do we still write a report here? No. Stalking mission. I don't think this had a report in it either. That's my main problem, I don't remember this report. No. Nothing to do with it. Disasters in Unit 4. Okay, yeah, Officer Minjun dead. Okay. So, No, I can't find a report anywhere. Which means we're going back to Carlos. Friday night, 9:30 p.m. Hotaru changed into his robe and went to the guard's monitor room. 9:45 p.m. I managed to incite Jin and Kyung into a fight and created a little chaos. Pai made his cellmate fall asleep. 9:47 p.m. While everyone's attention was drawn to Jin and Kyung, Pai came into my cell. 9:53 p.m. Hotaru came back. 9:55 p.m. All of the inmates had gone back to their own cells and the gates were all locked up. 10 p.m. No guards showed up for the roll call. 10:07 p.m. Hotaru, Pai and I climbed into the underground tunnel through the hole in the floor of the cell. So far, everything was going smoothly, according to plan. The tunnel was in the basement floor of the prison. There was another monitor room at the end of it. It had a skylight window on the ceiling, which was right under the prison yard. It was also located on the edge of the yard near the prison walls. It was the only area that wasn't covered by the searchlights. If we could get there without being discovered, freedom would finally be within our reach. But here came the biggest obstacle in our whole plan. The guards in the monitor room. Every night there would be 2 people on duty in the room. Most of the time they stayed inside. They would leave and patrol the basement floor every once in a while. We had to get into the room during their patrol without running into them. We must then get out through the window before they came back. Only then would the plan be a success. For an entire month I had been observing the patrols while I hid in the underground tunnel. There was a lot of heavy machinery on the basement floor. They had divided the whole floor into many smaller lanes. Traversing all of the lanes would take a very long time, therefore most of the guards didn't really bother. Their patrol routes had no schedule or patterns whatsoever. However, there was a pair of peculiar twin brothers who would always follow the same route without exception. It was such a huge break for us. Naturally, we decided to choose a night when the twins were on duty to carry out our plan. To be absolutely sure, I had even drawn a map of their patrol route. The monitor room was in the northwestern corner of the basement floor, and we set out from the southeastern corner. We could use the machinery as cover. However, there was nothing blocking the view in the lanes. The moment the guards appeared in the same lane as us in either direction, they would see us immediately. In short, we had to go to the monitor room in a limited amount of time while avoiding the patrolling guards. I had planned our route in advance. It should be west, west, so here, north, west, north, east, north, west. But I seem to have made a mistake. After 2 intersections we were caught by one of the twins. After the guards saw us, we began running towards the monitor room in the hope of still making it, but before we could climb out through the window we heard the deafening alarms screaming outside. We were doomed. We were each put into solitary cells afterwards. The hole under the bunk bed in cell 28 was also filled. The next time I saw Pai and Hotaru was a week later in the yard. Pai was still his usual self. He seemed to be having lots of fun even if he had failed to escape. Since our failed attempt at escaping, the guards started to distance themselves from Hotaru to save their own skins. Hotaru no longer played his card games with others as he no longer had any income. It was all my fault. I even had a map of the patrol. How could I have miscalculated our route? I thought about the angry looks Hotaru gave me. I thought about the fact that I might never be able to get out. I thought about the people that wanted to hurt Alicia. I felt so hopeless. Was there absolutely no other way to get out? Lord, please guide me. Alright, Carlos. Let's look at the map. I'm assuming they take 1 step in the same time we take 1 step. And they'll probably be doing that at the same time. So the first step, okay, so they're here and here. Then they're here and here. So for the first 2 steps, it doesn't really matter where we are. For step 3, wait, for step 3, he's down here, he's up here. So we can't be here anymore for step 3. It takes until step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until he's in the same corridor as this. So, what if we go north, No, this wouldn't work, would it? If we go west, north, east, 3, then we go north, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do we have 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. I want to go west, north, east, north, north, west, west, west. West, north, east, north, north, west, west, west. That is what? After 2 intersections, we were caught by one of the twins. Really? West, north. Okay. Where do we get caught? Oh, so he's already looking here, I guess, even though he's not in the lane yet. Okay, I see how it works. So we can't be in here after 2, and we can't be in here after 2. 1, 2. So we need to be. We need to go north twice. But then we still get caught by him. You know, just. I don't care about anything else right now. I want to check out north twice. I want to figure out how exactly it works. Okay. So yeah, we still be caught by him. That's interesting then. Because actually, never mind me. No, mind me after all. That's exactly how it is. Can't be here. So we can't be here. We can't be here. We always wait. God damn it! I always right click. Okay, left clicking does the same thing. Okay. We can't go south. So we can't be here. We can't be in this line at all. We can't be in this line at all. We can't be in either of, so we can't be in either of those, obviously. So it doesn't work. We can go west twice, doesn't work. We can go west north, doesn't work. We can go north north, doesn't work. We can go northwest, doesn't work. That's all our options. What am I supposed to do then? Let me look again at what I have. I only have northwest and east. After 2 intersections. He will be here, looking over this whole area. That's clear. And this technically. But we can't get there within 2 anyway. He, 1, 2, will be looking over this and this. So we're completely screwed. Yeah, there's no way to get this right. Just, I don't have hints yet. I could just try doing some random things until I get hints, but like normally, because I would want to say there's another bad option. That's interesting. I really don't see how this can work. It's absolutely impossible. But at the same time, I can't imagine, like, this is not connected with anything else, and there's no, the usual hints where it says, okay, if you do this other story, then maybe you unlock another option or something like that. So there has to be a solution, but there obviously isn't. And it's also set up in a way that there obviously isn't. Like the obvious point is after 2 intersections. Because no matter what you do, as long as it's bad, you get caught after 2 intersections. Because they basically cover off the whole map. Is there any... Let's just not think about where we can go, and let's think about if there is any spot that isn't covered. They're covering off this whole thing, this whole thing, this whole thing, and this whole thing. Technically, the spots that aren't covered are this place right here, and technically anything over here. This is still covered. This is still, so technically this place over here as well. And this place. What was even the first place I was talking about? Was that this place? I don't remember. Technically this place is also safe, but we cannot get there. Nevertheless, let me just try west-west. Actually, I'm stupid. But do we then have enough? Do we then have enough tiles to get up? We can't, right? Because what we could do is west-east to go back to the start. But then we've only got 6 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, sure. I trust that, I'm not even going to check it. I trust that that works. Okay. At 10:30 PM we managed to sneak into the monitor room. Looking up through the window at the corner of the ceiling, I could even see the sapphire color of the starry night. Yay! We made it. Okay. There we go. Yep. Okay. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. I think it's mostly because I assumed we'd have to, you know, have a lot more steps, basically. Until I realized, well, you know, I can just do that, and then obviously, since that is the only option that makes sense, it then has to be north, 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 west, west, west. It could have been the other way around, but, you know. Alright, I'm still curious about what the other one was. I know actually what the other one has to be. This is what the other one has to be. No? It's not? After 3... Oh, come on, that is a change. I'm kind of curious. I want to know what the other one was. This has to be there. What about we sprinkle some of that in there? No? I kind of just have to try it out because I don't know what goal we're trying to achieve. So let me just do a bit of this and that. I'll probably not manage to find it. There's too many options here that are possible. But, you know. Okay, I gave it a try. Oh, yeah, never mind. I should probably end up with the right solution. There we go.